Talk about these policies to look out for in the new year shortly. But since you are here, I was thinking we could quickly talk about the Lagos politics. The speaker was just recently impeached. It's the second time it's happening since 1999. And for a man who has spent over perhaps 20 years in the House and who probably was even ranked as some of those who will, succeed someone who as governor. What does this mean for the APC politics in Lagos? Because I understand that there are different groups, one of which the former speaker leads.
You know how you have what do we call it? There are two groups in Lagos. But actually, you ban the two groups. The bandits and one other one. And they ban the bandit because it's causing a lot of trouble. A few years back. So some people went to bring it back. So I understand Lagos politics very well, and I know everybody. But there are certain things I will not say here. But, it didn't start today. I've seen GSC meetings, seen them at meetings in Governor's house on a few occasions, on this matter, on this Obasa matter. So it was not easy for the governor. It was not easy for the governor. But I won't say what I know.
But
let me call it classified.
You're not even saying anything, but I want you to say at least maybe 1 out of 10. I'm just wondering if his impeachment resolves that internal party crisis. Because if he leads a group, what happens to that group moving forward? Some of them were arrested at the State Assembly complex, singing the mandate song in the support.
The supporters will make some noise. But the deed had been accomplished. It lasted a long time. There was endurance, acceptance. Let it be because of the system. I can't tell you what I know. I can't tell you what I know. Because I was the image maker of our party for years, almost 14 years. So I know a lot about Lagos politics. There are certain things I will not discuss about. It's long overdue.
It is.
So let's just leave it that way.
Let us look at this.
The system moves on.
Absolutely, it does. And then we are also counting on what happens afterwards. There's the issue of the National Youth Confab that is expected to, come to fruition in the first quarter of this year. What do you expect from this? Because a lot of attention is now drawn to the national confab we had some 10 years ago. How a lot of resources, were spent. And the draft did not see the light of the day because, power changed hands and what have you. How optimistic are you about this one?
Not with Achuwaju. Not with P-Bats. You understand his leadership. It's not going to be a jamboree. It's not going to be what we have seen in the past. For him, 2 + 2 is 4. So there's nothing wrong in talking. Let's bring them. One thing you want to achieve is to give them a sense of belonging, that they are part of the system. Let them come up with something that will help this nation to grow.
And you think government is committed to implement what the young wants to be done?
No, the young will not tell us to kill ourselves for them, and we'll just sign it.
Because that's the thing, you wonder
the young cannot teach the old tradition.
You wonder whether there is a point where your generation and my mates, when it comes to governance, we've seen a couple of protests in the past, even last year, young people, there was the NSAS protest and what have you. It appears that we have a remarkably different idea of how governance should be. So I'm wondering, when you ask young people to come before the table and talk, it's not just about talking. Do you see that body language, that political will, that you have intention to implement what they want done?
Well, babies will always think like babies, and adults will always think like adults. You need to find a way. We don't have to go and kill people. They may tell you, if somebody steals money, go and kill the person. We don't have to go and kill people to satisfy them. We will tell them the way the systems are, the way you run the system. And then they can offer advice. You see, young people know too much now. They know. Some of them traveled. Some of them well-read. But not all of them will have Genzio. I don't know what we're talking about. So I just believe that we'll get sensible people, sensible young people who understand what is going on, to sit. It's giving them a sense of belonging, to be part of governance, to bring their own idea. They won't tell us to go to or to change this system entirely. We can't change from democracy and go back to dictatorship. We can't do that. So, everybody has something to bring to the table. I used to have meetings with my kids, and they put their own thinking on the table. Use it. One thing is to give them a sense of belonging, to tell them that they are part of the process, and groom them for tomorrow. You have to wait for your turn.
But that's the thing,
You have to wait for your turn.
Yeah, but that has also been an issue, because they keep telling us that we are the leaders of tomorrow. Until I woke up one day and I started seeing white beards in my hair. And then I'm wondering, when is actually going to be my time?
We are watching you.
If you are still sitting on the throne.
No, I won't be there forever. I will not be there forever. I've told you that I've been, I served so many agencies in Lagos. Publicity secretary for almost 14 years. First chairman of LASIMRA, Lagos State Infrastructure Maintenance and Regulatory Agency. From there, I moved to Wharf Landing in Apapa. From Wharf Landing, I became a member of a school, SA Drainage. So you have to pay your dues. You have to mark the time.
So the Minister of Youth is expected to come up with modalities on who represents the young people. What's your idea? How do you think we can even get the representation right? So it doesn't look like it is an APC, it is a meeting of APC members who are just going to dance to the tune of this administration and be a rubber stamp.
We watch the public space. We know sensible people. You have good people everywhere. We have young people who are doing wonderful things in this country. Young people. We know them. Bring those people in. Size is no guarantee to strength. If leadership is measured by might, giants would have been ruling the world. Bring them. Young people do so many things. So, in the process of doing this thing, you identify clever people. And you put them in, catch them young. So it's not going to be a government of 60, 70, 80. No. If you are good, you come into the system.
Let's look at the national